Will is a 2023 Belgian-Dutch-Polish historical war drama film written by Carl Juice, Tim Mielens, and Jeroen Alleslegers, directed by Mielens and starring Stef Aerts, Matteo Simoni, and Anne-Laure Krallet. It is based on Jeroen Alleslegers' novel of the same title.
Plot.
Will unfolds in 1942 Nazi-occupied Antwerp, Belgium. Wilfried Wils, Stef Aerts, and his friend Lode Metdepenningen, Matteo Simoni, begin their roles as auxiliary police officers under German oversight. Their commanding officer, Jean, bluntly advises them, "Stand aside and don't interfere with German orders." On their first patrol, they are ordered by a German Feldgendarme to arrest a Jewish family. Hesitant but powerless to resist, they follow the soldier. However, when the Feldgendarme begins assaulting a mother and child, Will and Lode intervene. In the ensuing struggle, the soldier accidentally dies when Will strikes him with an iron rod. Their decision to hide the body in a manhole marks their unwitting entry into peril. In the aftermath, panic and paranoia seize Antwerp. Will seeks help from Felix Verschaffel, a collaborator claiming German connections, while Lode's sister Yvette, Anne-Laure Krallet, grows increasingly distrustful of Will's loyalties. Under growing moral pressure, Will joins forces with Lode, Yvette, and the local resistance to protect the Jewish family they initially encountered, hiding them in the home of Chaim Litzke, Pierre Bachma. As German investigations intensify, led by Officer Gregor Schnabel, Will manipulates information to misdirect a raid. Tragically, Yvette sacrifices herself by stepping in front of a train to delay the raid and save others. Will witnesses this heartbreaking act from a distance. Consumed by guilt and grief, he chooses survival, aware that revealing the truth could endanger both himself and Lode. The film concludes in a conflicted, resolute silence. Will survives, having done both good and wrong, forever shadowed by wartime compromises.
Cast.
Stef Aerts as Wilfried Wils, Matteo Simoni as Lode Metdepenningen, Anne-Laure Krallet as Yvette Metdepenningen, Jean Bravowitz as Omer Verschuren, Jan Bijvoet as Jean, Pierre Bachma as Chaim Litzke, Pitt Bukowski as Feldgendarme Hermann, Koen de Bouw as Father Metdepenningen, Jan de Cleer as the Professor, Sophie de Cleer as Jenny, Valentin Dienens as Gust, Els Dottermans as Maria Metdepenningen, Wido Geertz as Soos, Kevin Janssens as Vincent Vindevogel, Mark Lories as Gaston, Frida Pitters as Zulma, Dirk Roofthooft as Felix Verschaffel. Release. The film was released in Belgian theaters on September 27, 2023. 1. Reception. The film has a 75% rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 8 reviews. 2. Barbara Schulgasser-Parker of Common Sense Media awarded the film 3 stars out of 5. 3. Ollie Welsh of Polygon gave the film a negative review and wrote, "It's clear-sighted on the cruel compromises of occupation and collaboration, but so fatalistic about them that it winds up wallowing in its own guilt and hopelessness. That's a dark kind of truth, and not necessarily one that anyone needs to hear." 4. John Serba of Decider.com gave the film a positive review and wrote that it wisely tells an absorbing small-scale story that keenly represents the big-picture conflict. 5. References. Engelin, Aurora, September 27, 2023. Review Will. Cineropa. Retrieved May 15, 2025. Will. Rotten Tomatoes. Retrieved May 15, 2025. Schulgasser-Parker, Barbara. Parent's Guide to Will. Common Sense Media. Retrieved May 15, 2025. Welsh, Ollie, January 31st, 2024. There's Bleak, and then there's Netflix's Nazi occupation thriller, Will.
Polygon.
Retrieved May 15th, 2025. Serba, John, February 7th, 2024. Stream it or skip it. Will on Netflix, a Belgian World War II drama situated in an awful moral quagmire. Decider.com. Retrieved May 15th, 2025. External links. Will at IMDb. Will at Rotten Tomatoes. This article needs additional or more specific categories. Please help out by adding categories to it so that it can be listed with similar articles. August 2025.